I don't mean to alarm you, but nutrients aren't real. You've been tricked.
Let me fly towards my hands, towards my hands.
So I've been carnivore for about 2 months, roughly carnivore. It's 99%. It's good enough. And I looked up on Chronometer the other day, just like if I eat nothing but steak, what kind of nutrients I'm getting. It's deficient in so many things. Yet you see people healing all kinds of stuff, people doing carnivore for like decades. There's Anthony Chafee, super happy and healthy. Kelly Hogan, come on, there's a bunch of us. And so like, it makes you question, like what nutrients do we actually need? Who's making these RDAs? There's fruitarians out there thriving. Eli from Free Melon Society, the guy eats like 1,500 calories a day max, often like one meal a day, and it's only fruit. He'll have vegetables occasionally, the odd nut or seed bi-yearly. Like hardly anything is coming in, so I just wanted to dive in a little bit. Let's dive. So we got a fruitarian day and a carnivore day. We'll start with the carnivore. This guy is eating 2,500 calories of ground beef and nothing else. That sounds fun. He's getting 250 grams of protein. Just a side rant. All these people, everybody I hear talking in the carnivore sphere, they're like, yeah, you aim for 1 gram of protein per pound. And it's like, how? How could you even get that little? What are you talking about? You're going like almost 2. You're doubling that. Like there's no way to eat carnivore unless it's only lard. It's like protein is way higher. Who are you aiming for? Just try to get one try. It's impossible not to, and it's impossible not to get double it, pretty much. I debunked you. One thing I hate about Chronometer, it's a lot of information is missing. If you type in like a grass-fed steak, you'll get like 0 vitamins, 0 minerals. It's like, why is that even in there? You obviously have no data for it. So like if I'm looking up ground beef here, there's 0 omega-3s in the ground beef. That's not true. If it's grass-fed especially, you're looking at like 1-to-1 ratio, omega-3 to 6. That's good times. But let's just take this with a grain of salt. B1, you're deficient in, like severely so. You would die eventually if we need B1, do we? Is it even real? Folate, super low. Not everybody's eating liver. Nobody does, hardly. It's gross for a reason. It's nasty. Where's your vitamin C? Scurvy? It's gonna happen to you. Vitamin D? The sun could exist, but I've seen, I think Steak and Butter gal, she said she like didn't supplement and her vitamin D was super low, even though she was eating supposedly high vitamin D foods like egg yolks and whatever you're doing. So like vitamin D, not getting it. Vitamin E, you need that to prevent fat oxidation. It's like it protects you. It's your antioxidant almost. You get none of it on a high fat diet with no vitamin E. You should be dying, but you're not. Vitamin K, how do you get it? What are you doing? So like it's deficient in everything. You have enough calcium to build the bones of a 90-year-old man. Your copper is low. Magnesium, how you gonna poo or relax? But the carnivore calm is real. I'm more calm than anyone that I know. I'm just like super happy. Magnesium is supposed to calm you down. I clearly have enough. Phosphorus, that's too high. Potassium, not enough. Where's your sodium? So like on paper, you're deficient in many things and a nutritionist would guide you towards adding the foods that are lacking in here, probably fruit. It's like, okay, now you have a balanced diet. You have the RDA. Who made those? It just makes me think, like, what do we actually need? There's breatharians out there who have converted to autonomy, where they need nothing. And they see in 360 degrees around their head. It could be real. I'm not gullible. You're gullible. So, like, clearly deficient diet, but people are healing diseases. That's what we have to, even as a vegan, I was seeing these carnivores and I'm just like, you have to give it to them. They're healing. They're getting their life back. They were in severe depression or skin issues that they could not live with. and they ate meat and they got better, so you have to accept that, vegans. Like, with clear deficiencies. What about the fruitarian? 2,500 calories of mangoes, one of the more nutrient-dense fruits. You're lucky I chose that instead of bananas or grapes or apples. So we got nice tropical fruit. You're getting 1 gram of protein per finger. You're a little low on that one. I wouldn't expect a bodybuilding competition is in your future, but omega-3s 2.1 to 8.8, not bad, pretty good. Now, if you look at the vitamins, I know a lot of vegans remove B12 from this section because they don't want to see the reality that they're completely missing one. And so they're just like, no, I hit 100% of my vitamins. As long as I remove B12 from the equation, you're low. In my opinion, if you ate nothing but mangoes and didn't supplement, you'd probably end up with some type of neuropathy where you couldn't feel your fingers or love from your partner. You couldn't feel the love coming in. Something would go haywire, sharp pains, sciatica. You're gonna die. But if you supplement B12, you might live. Vitamin D completely lacking, but everything else is covered. B1 is even higher than ground beef. Not bad. Your minerals, I don't know, more calcium, so you might have a bone or two, but unfortunately for you, bones are often built out of protein as well. That could come to haunt you. Oh boy. Iron, some people you might feel weak. Phosphorus is low. Always with the vegans, it's selenium and zinc, unless you're eating beans and nuts and seeds and pumpkin seeds. I don't know, those two are often low, and then the Doug Grahams of our world will say, well, that's what we're actually needing. It's less of those two nutrients. I doubt it. But even though you're deficient in every amino acid available, you got no B12, 0 fat, but enough. Omega-3s at least. There are people who have healed themselves eating nothing but mangoes. They go on Mango Island, and they're having fun, they're laughing with each other, and they're fruitarian. They got stick figure arms. They have to get other people to carry the mangoes home for them or they'll snap in half, but there's some out there. I don't know about long term. These vegans, I more and more doubt creeps into my mind that vegans can even live like for more than 3 months, but whatever, it's fine. I'm sure you're happy. But deficient in so many things, and people reverse illnesses. That's the main point here. I've seen people do nothing but fruit and heal something. So obviously we didn't need these certain nutrients that the RDA people require us to have. In my opinion, this is a sales brochure to make sure you buy all the different products, and the only way to hit these numbers is to buy more products and make the fat cats rich. What do you think people did back in the 1800s before all this stuff existed and there was RDAs and things to hit as a goal? People just ate food, and you craved something, and then, oh, that nutrient must be, I needed potatoes. Where's the instinct? We lost it. Like, I'm eating mostly meat. The odd time I'll have a craving for something, like, wish I could have a piece of fruit or something sour to offset the grease that I encumber myself with. So it's like I should listen to that instead of the cult people who say you have to be 100% carnivore, bro. Join us. It could work. It might. Like, I lean towards I'm eating nothing but lamb meat for a year at least. And then we like finally heal the gut once and for all and be strict, instead of my mindset's always been like, what can I get away with now and still feel pretty good? Like having eggs, and I'm having skin issues, so it's like, let's just go strict once and for all for a long time, heal the gut, and then you should be able to add some things back. And we'll do that later. And maybe I won't even want to. I think that's the biggest problem with us fad diet people. We don't listen to our own bodies when it's craving something. Like you're fruitarian and you're trying to detox and you're like, I just got to stick with this, and you're craving like almonds or something. You're like, nope, that's high fat. That'll slow the detox. Got to speed right through it. Listen, man, maybe you need it. I remember once I was basically fruitarian and I cracked a couple walnut shells open and I was going to soak them overnight. And I was just curious, took a bite, and I was like, oh my God. Like I had been so long with no fat, but I spit it out because I didn't soak it overnight. I was like, well, I can't swallow that. There's anti-nutrients in there. My body clearly needed those omega-3s or something in there, the protein. So it's like we don't listen. And then we get in trouble and we wonder why. Oh, and we left brain our way out of the maze. And you're trying to develop this perfect diet on paper that should work. Or you're testing your blood all the time to get a perfect number, even though it fluctuates like 15 times throughout the day. So if you test it in the morning versus 11 a.m. versus 1 p.m., completely different numbers. And you're trying to hit a certain number. How do you even know what that number should be at what time? And you're going for, oh, I want super high cholesterol, but the HDL, I want that certain number. And then as long as my LDL is below this, and it's the triglycerides to calcium ratio that I want. Like, what are you doing? How do you know any of this? Oh, I have enough protein in my blood. Even though I'm skinny and I have no muscle, the protein in the blood said I'm fine. Listen to the inside heart of your inner child, and you might live to talk about it. So it's like, what nutrients do we need? I see way too many fad diet people thriving without these nutrients. So something's off. I don't know who made these lists. I have nothing else to say about this. How you doing? You thumbing up the video? That's nice. Thumbs it down if you're deficient in calcium 7. That's one of the little known sources of calcium, is actually the inner layer of the eggshell, the membrane. That was lame. It's not true, and it's hard to get. And there is no membrane, probably. So I'll leave. How you doing? Subscribe for more videos. I'll see you next.